Today I'm going to show you how to do a round-trip workflow from Sony Vegas to Davinci Resolve Lite and back. We're going to be using the Avid AAF file format to do that. And so let's get started. The first thing you'll need to know is that Davinci Resolve only works with certain file types, and so if you're using, like for instance, a Canon DSLR, you're not going to have a problem because Canon DSLRs wrap their H.264 codec in a .mov, and so that plays nice with Davinci, and so they should be perfect for this. I, however, am using a Sony FS700, and so my files need to be rewrapped into a .mov container. Now, you don't want to transcode them, so if you've got something that doesn't work, you should try and find something that can be rewrapped into a different container folder as opposed to transcoded, because you will lose some quality. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find my videos on my SD card. So here's my SD card right here. Here are my videos. Here I've got some clips of a friend of mine playing his guitar. Just copy those and bring them to round trip demo. So I already had some stuff in here, but I'm going to delete it so I can show you guys how to do this again. So first thing, FS700. So these are my original FS700 files right there. So these are a, let's see what they are. They're like an M, I don't even know what they are. They're M2T or something like that. Anyway, they're MPEG video, and I'm going to rewrap them using this WinRewrap program here. I'll have a link to that in the description. And so we want them to be .movs. Ooh, change audio PCM. That seems to work best for these FS700 files. And so then I browse, find my files. Let's see, current video, test footage, round trip demo. And as you can see, it's automatically doing it there. So now I've got my rewrapped files here. I'll just select those. Copy, actually I should just cut them out. And then new folder. Rewrap. Okay, so now I've got my files that will play nice with Davinci Resolve. So I can open up my Sony Vegas program here and drag those straight in, no problem. Okay, so now I can take these and edit them however I want. I can add extra video tracks. I can drag these around. Something to keep in mind: the AAF format does not support every transition. It's going to support straight cuts. It's going to support a fade like that. It'll support laying one on top of the other and fading one into the other. Things like that. You can take these files and you can cut them up however you want. I can take this and put it over here, and and do whatever I want with these. So, but just keep in mind you can't do like any of these fancy transitions, like a flying in or crazy weird wipes and things like that. So keep it simple for your initial edit. Bring some audio in here. Let's see. Probably just go with maybe a little pogo. So if you don't know who Pogo is, maybe I'll link him in the description. Okay, so now you can see, bring my volume down, that I've got video, it's edited, it's playing fine, and got some music. Etc., etc. Okay, so one thing you should know is that for whatever reason the AAF format doesn't like audio attached to video clips, and so if this, I don't have any audio with these clips, and so if you had, like, say, an interview or something, before you export to AAF, what you'd want to do is select only your audio for your video clips, and then export it, for instance, as a FLAC format file. That way you could bring it right back in and drop it in. Strangely enough, any tracks that you drag in, like this music track, they'll go straight through Resolve via AAF and then back, and they'll end up right back where you had them before. So I don't know why it doesn't like the clip audio. The clip audio will still be there, but it just won't be visible. So okay, so we've got our edited video here, and so now what we can do is, well, first let's save the actual Sony Vegas file. So we'll go to, that's not what I wanted, go to our area where everything is, test footage, round trip demo, and we'll just say project files, and then we'll say round trip demo. Round trip demo. Okay, now what we can do is we can say file, save as, and down here we'll say edit protocol compliant AAF file. The Avid Legacy AAF doesn't work for some reason in Resolve, but this one does, and so now it's going to be called roundtrip.aaf, and we'll save that. Alright, so we can minimize this, and we can open Davinci Resolve now. Davinci Resolve is amazing in that it is free, and it is very, very powerful. In fact, some of the only limitations are the output format. You can only go up to HD, and there's like a few other features missing, but mostly it's all there. Okay, so first things first, we'll save our project as, and we'll call it MO4. I've done a few of these just to make sure it all works. And so now I need to find my media. So pull your media in here. So test footage, round trip. This is where, see, here are our original FS700 files, and here are rewraps. So if I click on the originals, you'll see there's nothing there because the original file format does not work. But our rewrapped versions work just fine. So here they are. So if you had not rewrapped those and you were using a camera that had a file format that didn't work, this is where you would be upset that you couldn't grade your file and Resolve without exporting it. Okay, so we've got them in the master pool. Now we go to the conform tab, and you can see that all our media is here, but it doesn't look anything like our edit. And so we'll go up here and say file, import AAF. We'll find our AAF here, which is in our 1 terabyte drive. Project files, round trip demo AF. This is the one we exported from Sony Vegas. Don't automatically set project settings. It has a tendency to mess it up. And don't automatically import source clips because that doesn't seem to work, but we already did that. So press OK. And you can see here is our edit. It's got our fades, it's got our multiple tracks, it's got our various cuts all ready to go there. So everything is looking good. Now we can head on over to the color tab. This is where you'll be spending most of your time correcting all of your footage. I'm not going to do very much correction. I'm just going to essentially get my levels right and then paste my new grade to all of the source footage. That way we'll be able to see that it's done something when we go back to Vegas. So I'm going to lower my contrast a little bit, bring my exposure up a little bit there, bring my contrast back. Maybe I'll boost my midtones a little bit. Maybe I'll pull my shadows a little bit blue. And maybe I'll bring my skin tones a little bit warm right there and bring my overall saturation level down a little bit. Okay, so you can see now that we've done something. We've corrected this clip, more or less. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a still, and I'm just going to drag this on to our other clips here. Okay, so now you can see all our clips have that correction on them now. And so we can head on over to the Deliver tab. Okay, we're here in the Deliver tab, and so I have a preset that I've made that just says Doug to Vegas. I'm Doug, so it makes sense for me. And you're going to want to use QuickTime, or you can use anything you want. Of course, you could render uncompressed TIFF if you wanted to, but I think for Vegas you get a real nice editing experience if you use QuickTime and use the Cineform 10-bit codec. You can also use DNX HD, which seems to play pretty well as well, but the Cineform looks good to me. And you want your frame rate to be the normal frame rate of your project. Your resolution is going to have to, if you're using the light version of Resolve, you're going to have to stick to HD. Normally scaled legal video. If you do unscaled full range data and you bring it into Sony Vegas, it has a tendency to clip the blacks and the highlights. The information is still there. You just have to pull it back in using your contrast tool. So if you keep normally scaled legal video, this ends up looking here in Resolve the same as it looks in Sony Vegas, which is what you really want. Go ahead and render your audio, even though, like I said, it's going to lose the audio track from the clips upon bringing it back into Vegas. It doesn't mean that the audio is gone. It's still attached to the clips in the project manager, and I can show you how to pull that audio back in if you need to. Alright, so let's pick our render destination here. We'll just continue using our little let's see, project files. What we'll do is we'll add a new folder. We'll just say from, and we'll just color corrected. Okay, great. And so come down here, and you're going to want to set your file name, use source file name. That'll help you reference the source file names. But don't render each clip with a unique file name. Make sure and select render each clip to a separate directory. This is going to help you later when you want to go back and re-color correct or change the color on just one clip. You're going to be able to without having to re-render the whole project, and it'll automatically update itself in Vegas. This is helpful. Here you can add frame handles. I recommend adding a lot of, add as much as you want there. I like 60. That's about 2.5 or 3 seconds on either side of the clip. That gives you some wiggle room when you get back into Vegas if you want to add transitions or move a clip around. Okay, so add your job. Select your in and out points. So I just want to render the whole thing, so I select in there. And then, let's see, what am I doing here? Let's select my out point here. And then I'll start my render. And I will save you having to watch this. I will fast forward it. Alright, as you can see, we're just about finished here. And so we've finished our render. So there's one more step we have to do here. So go back to the Conform tab, File, Export AAF. And so you see here's our AAF from Vegas, and we're about to save our AAF back from Resolve to Vegas. So save it, and then you can go right back to Vegas. Alright, so here's our original project. We'll go File, Open, alright, so we just go to our round trip, project files, and here's our AAF that we've just exported from Resolve. Open it up, and bam. That's cool. I even remember my audio settings. Alright, so it's amazing. Here we go. You can see it's all there. Like I said, we've lost the audio from the clips, and so if you had audio on the clips you wanted to preserve, you would now bring in your exported audio and drag it in there, and it would be all synced up. And put my volume down here, but as you can see, everything here is playing good. These are the new color corrected clips, and the way that we know that is because if we go to their properties, we can see that they are 10-bit Cineform files. And so we're back where we started again with color corrected footage from Resolve. So you can see how powerful that is already, in that you didn't have to color correct every bit of footage, which is what you'd do if you had to start in Resolve. So you only color corrected the things you were going to use. And here's another cool thing about it. Let's say I like everything, but I don't like how this clip looks, and I really wish I could go back and color grade it. Well, I can. So I go back to Resolve, I go to my color tab, I find the clip, which is a big fade on it, so here's what I really want, I guess. Alright, so I can just go ahead and re-render this. Maybe what I really wanted was more blue in my shadows or something like that. Or maybe I wanted it to be more green or something. Anyway. Maybe I wanted the blacks up a little bit. Anyway, so I'll just change this so you can see how it'll look if I change it. So here's our new look. I can go deliver. I can say in. I can say out. Add the job. Continue. It'll ask if you want to go overwrite, and you do. And so you're essentially overwriting the file that you're using in Vegas right now. And you want to, because now when we go back to Vegas, it'll automatically be there. It'll update and everything, and so it's that easy if you want to recolor correct a piece of footage. Very, very convenient. So now we're done. Go back to Vegas, and you can see our clip is already updated. Nice. Okay. So now I would probably go ahead and save this as, so this is round trip demo. So I could say round trip demo post resolve. Bam. Okay, so now I've got my pre file, I've got my resolve AAF, I've got my AAF back from resolve, and I have my final post resolve timeline here that I can go back and recorrect these clips at any time in resolve if I want to. Pretty convenient. Alright, I hope that was helpful to everybody, and thanks for watching.